everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
Hello. My name is Z Garcia. Welcome.
And I'm the very tired Stephen Bonacore. Why do you wake me up this early?
It's too early. It's disgustingly
You
early.
really have a different opinion of
9
early.
in the morning. Is the sun even out?
See, this is actually a shtick. I know it is because I know you get up early. You are a man of early to bed, early to rise. I know you go to bed at 6 p.m.
I am, but not that early. But I still have my morning coffee with me, which is kind of funny. It takes me a long time to drink a.
Folks, that's vodka. Don't let him fool you.
No, that's it. I don't do that till 12.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a respectable man then.
Of course.
All right, folks, welcome to the week of us streaming stuff from Spiel Digital. We're showing off a lot of different games. Today, you'll see games here in the studio. We'll be jumping over to Z's headquarters for a game, jumping down to Australia, so all over the place. And we're going to get to that starting at 10:30 today. But first, we have breakfast. We have a contest going on right now. This is for 3 copies of a game called Nova Aetas Renaissance. This is on Kickstarter right now, and it is doing, I would say, slightly well. It's 563,000 right now.
Nice.
It's a pretty big game. You want to check this game out. There's a link in the description here. To enter this contest, to win one of 3 copies shipped worldwide, obviously when the game is produced. This is the Renaissance Pledge. You need to email us at contest@dicetower.com. The subject, put NAR. The letters NAR, which is short for the name of the game, Nova Aetas Renaissance. And answer the question, what are the names of the 4 heroes of Nova Aetas Renaissance? There's 4 heroes. Go to the Kickstarter page to find out what they are. And you have till midnight on the 28th to enter this contest. Really recommend that you enter it before then, just to be safe. It's not that difficult. So go check out the website. A big campaign game, lots of cool miniatures.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I went to it. So it's Nova, which is obvious, Renaissance at the end, which is obvious. And the second word, AETAS, Nova Aetas Renaissance. And it's a beautiful looking game.
Rolls right off the tongue. It's a real simple game.
Nothing rolls off my tongue.
You roll the dice, though, in this game. Tons of
I see what you did there.
All righty, well, we have a lot to get going, folks. We have a lot to do, so we should get going. I'm combining my sentences. That's how quick we're going to move here. Let's jump to some... We'll be back in a bit.
Wow, that's bad.
IP stands for intellectual property. It's pretty easy, but in board games, it is a game that is themed around something that already exists outside of games. Star Wars Monopoly or Star Wars Rebellion both have the Star Wars theme. One kind of meets the mechanics, one doesn't, but they're both IP-based games. IP-based games are really popular. They've been around for a long time. There's even a whole segment on Board Game Breakfast, maybe multiple ones on Board Game Breakfast, about IPs. So stay tuned for those if you're interested in that kind of game. I'm not super into comic books or Lord of the Rings or things like that have a lot of those, but I have Toy Story, and I like Toy Story. Toy Story deck building game is a fantastic IP game that I really like. And nowadays, you're going to see really weird IP kind of games. This one's now at Target. It's about food. I haven't opened it yet, so I don't know if it's any good, but, we got Kraft Mac and Cheese, Heinz Ketchup, and Jell-O, brand Jell-O. That's it.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, today we're talking about Campaign Trail. The election's coming up in the United States for president, and if you were wondering how the Electoral College works, this game is going to teach you how it works. It has these big, long tiles that show, okay, California's worth this many electoral votes, and Illinois is worth this much, and, New Hampshire is worth this much, or whatever it is.
Yeah, it did a really good job of that. Not that this game set out to be an educational game, and if it was purely educational, we wouldn't have enjoyed it, but it did a good job. Anyway, it did a good job of explaining that while you're going on these tracks, while you're trying to win certain states. You just need this much or you really need that much, and you just gotta take it from this person, not that person. And so it was really neat to kind of see that happen in this game. And also, they did a great job of making a game about American politics where it doesn't feel like you have to talk about politics.
Right. Everything is abstracted. You're not saying whether you're for or against any topics. You are just trying to win over states with votes.
Yeah.
And, just showing that simulation of getting the electoral votes and winning over a state with the most amount of registered voters of your party. So I think that they did a great job of simulating that. The components of this game was just super thick cardboard. These tracks with the recessed cardboard that, you put these tracks on that you move up the votes on. Everything was just really sharp on the table. We just had a lot of fun playing this, and it's super timely right now, too.
Also, this is on Ryan's top 20.
Top 20 of all time.
All time. Well, thank you so much for watching us. If you'd like to hear more from us, you can find us on Facebook or YouTube. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Everybody, this is Ryan, and I'm Bethany. Hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
I suspect, folks, that next week we'll have even more news since probably things will be announced over the next few days from various companies, I would imagine. But there's still some things to talk about. So first we'll talk about, for those of you who use and play games on Steam, there are several new games. The Captain is Dead, Lorenzo Il Magnifico, and A Game of Thrones. I saw the pictures of A Game of Thrones, and it looks quite good, actually.
This is the Game of Thrones, the board game, not the LCG, right?
Yeah, this is the board game, the big one, the one you like.
I like it. It's a rough, long game. It's diplomacy on steroids, essentially. So,
right.
I've only played it twice, I think, but I do like it. I do like its conflict and intrigue. So this is exciting. It's going to be weird to play it online when you're not looking the person in the face as you stab them in the back, because that's sort of the fun of the game. But interesting. That's the one I'm most interested for, of course, of these.
That sounded terrific.
Yeah, baby.
Horrible.
Somehow he made terrific sound like horrific. That's terrific.
Terrific.
All right, in non-surprising news, there's a third sequel to the Gansan Clever, or Twice as Clever, or
that's pretty.
Now we have Clever Cubed. This is on iOS and Android, and also it should be being released this week as a physical version. I looked at this game, and it looks the same as the first two. So,
but each one is great.
Oh, I'm not arguing that. I just feel like they're not necessarily. I almost feel like you could package all three in the same box.
There'd be quite a bit of paper in that box then, but yeah, no, I mean this is for fans of the original and the second and the third, and I'm not trying to.
Mr. Bonacore published the first two, so he's somewhat biased here. Just to clear that up.
And yeah, of course, and Stronghold will publish this, I'm sure. They have not announced, so I will not. So, but it's for fans of the roll and write genre. It's fans of those who like this mechanism, which is pretty genius. So it'll do well. And Wolfgang is an amazing
I like the game. I'm just saying that I don't. If I played That's So Clever or Twice as Clever, if you mixed them up between days, I'm not sure I could tell you which one was which.
That's because you're not that smart, but other people can do that. There's a difference. Again,
biasm.
Biasm? Oh, I think you just proved his point. What are you saying?
You're supposed to be with me here. All right.
Don't help Bonacore, Tom.
That's great.
All right.
I'm gonna wait on once they release all three in the same box with dry erase, like laminated
deluxe
boards.
Clever Deluxe Edition.
Yeah. Clever Deluxe. It has all three, but they're on large boards you can write on and then just wipe that down.
I think that will happen. That's a good call.
There you go.
All right. Running things into the ground is our theme today because there are 3 new versions of Patchwork coming out. Patchwork Winter Edition, Patchwork Folklore. Well, 2 Patchwork Folklores, I guess. I think there's slight differences between these. The artwork on these looks great. I mean, Patchwork's probably the most popular polyomino game that's out there.
Yeah,
right. So I'm assuming these would do well. I would get one. I don't think I would get all 3. I would look these all over and pick the one that was the nicest looking.
I think I don't own a Patchwork. I I think of all these and the ones that are out already, like you said, they are definitely really running with this. That China one looks pretty good at first glimpse.
I agree. That's the
be,
one I would pick.
Yeah, that might be the one I'd go with. I like the look of it.
I just like to know what the differences are between them. But Patrick's a
cover.
great. Is that all? No, I hope it's going to be some mechanical difference, isn't there?
The barcode.
The barcode is different on each one.
Well, listen, just so you know, these are being released in Taiwan and in China. Lookout liked them that much that they're releasing a 500 copy limited edition each, which is available as of today. So if you want to get a copy of these, you better get on the horn right now. Go online.
How do we get a copy of the China one if it's being released in China?
No, Lookout grabbed 500 of them.
Okay, I'll go buy one.
Go buy one, creep.
Lookout continues their milking by having a new deck for Agricola and a new deck of cards for Newsfjord.
Can you be any more negative about all these games? Unbelievable.
I'm not being negative. I'm just talking about them milking the cows here.
No, what they're doing is they're bringing out more content to their fans. In all three of these cases, this is content for the fans of those games. It's a good thing.
Not always, but sure. More content is not always a good thing.
It is if you're a fan of the game. It's a very good thing.
I agree on that.
You don't have to buy it, but the fans of Agricola will eat this up like that cake that's right there on the box. Eat it like that cake.
That cake doesn't even look good.
Doesn't look good.
So negative. Everything. I would devour that cake.
You would not.
I would.
I would
lather that fish in cake.
All right, let's continue my positive streak. There is a game coming today, actually, that's being debuted. I'm excited about this. A new Uwe Rosenberg big box game, 1 to 4 player game in which Uwe Rosenberg tackles a new theme in which players will be harvesting and planting crops, tending sheep in a stable, and crafting buildings.
Not just crops, Tom. You're planting hops, which are a very important ingredient in beer. And I talked about this recently. This is a really unbelievable thing for a beer nerd like me. Hallertau is an area of Germany that's known for their hops, and Hallertauer is one of the noble hops. So when I saw this, I was like, I don't care about the game. I just have to have this because they're planting hops. They're making beer. This is awesome.
This is a game channel. We do care about the game itself.
Yes.
I'm actually excited about this because I like Uwe Rosenberg's big box games. I do think he may have run this particular theme. This isn't even the first time he's done stuff with hops. So that's like.
Is that true?
Yeah, the 2-player one. Anyway, this big 2-player game. Anyway.
Oh.
Fields of Arle. Yes. So, no, I'm excited about it. I just think it's funny that they make it like, in this one, you're harvesting crops. It's like, yes, we get it.
Will this be a worker placement game?
Yes.
That was a trick question. The answer was, duh, of course. It's Uwe Rosenberg.
So I'm still excited about this. It just cracked me up that it's the same theme again.
I'm ready for something new from Rosenberg. He's a beast at designing, but it's time to mix it up.
All right. Asmodee and Cephalofair are making Gloomhaven novels. This is obviously the new thing now. More books. I'm actually more interested in this one, I think, than any of the other ones that's been announced, just because the Gloomhaven universe is so unique.
Yeah, I actually thought we talked about this one, but maybe I did it on something else. But yeah, this is cool. It's so rich. When you play Gloomhaven, and I'm in the middle of a huge Gloomhaven campaign, and it's such a rich universe, and there's so much going on, and there's so many paths you can take. So this, to me, is very interesting, more interesting than graphic novels, though those we talked about recently with the collaborations between Asmodee and Simon were also pretty interesting for me as well. But this is very cool.
All right, I've been called negative today.
Yes.
Let me carry that torch for a little bit, Tom. You go ahead, buddy.
Well, I just want to be clear that I did not put the next piece of news on this thing here.
Yeah, I'm not going to make.
Origins Awards nominees. I know I already talked about that. I gave my piece. I didn't put this on here. This is from Mr. Bonacor, so I'm going to give him this news story.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make any friends on this one. Yeah, especially with Inside Gamma. So this is interesting. So we talked about on this show, right? The winners of the Origins Awards, and
I
like,
had some strong thoughts. Yes.
and you had some strong thoughts, and they were all 100% negative. So you're going to go from 100% negative to about 4,000% negative in a second. But hear me out, everybody. It's slightly complicated. So on Board Games Insider, Ignacy and I, of course, reported on this as well. And when we clicked and I was reading the winners, Ignacy clicked in the article and it showed you a list of the nominees. Lo and behold, some of the winners were not on the nominees list, which was published originally on March 12th, 2020. It's okay. So March 12th, we have nominees published. October 2nd, winners are announced, and the winners aren't on the nominee list. So I was like, Ignacy, crack reporter, investigative reporter, Stephen Bonacor will be on this. So I reached out to Gamma, and I had a very lengthy conversation. Corey Thompson, I also reached out to Corey to make sure that I wasn't going crazy here. Like maybe I missed something. So your man, Corey Thompson, and he and I have become very good friends during the pandemic. And we both reached out and we've talked to John Stacy, the executive director over at Gamma. So what happened? It's not a conspiracy. It wasn't
Well,
anything more.
I don't think anyone has said that yet.
No, of course
I'm
not.
basically there. I'm at conspiracy level.
Yeah.
Let's go. What's going on?
So what it was is there was just some usual sadness of the checks and balances and things going on within Gamma. And I really hate to be negative about it. So the person that was responsible for this didn't put out the full list back in March. Just didn't do it. They just truncated the list for some reason accidentally. Those games were even on display at the Gamma trade show in March at that time when they were announced, or also called Gamma Expo. They didn't realize this until they went out to order the plaques to give to people and realized that the winners didn't match the list. So they went back and they looked, and that person had been laid off right after the Gamma trade show. I think it was due to COVID. Don't know. So they had this mismatch. They announced the winners, but they never publicly talked about, and they still have not publicly talked about, the fact that the original nominee list was not correct. It was not inclusive of all of the nominees in each category. 4 of the categories had winners that were not on the original list. They did publish an updated nominee list 2 days or 3 days before the winners were announced. On September 29th, 2020, they put out, just secretly kind of on their website, all of a sudden they just put out a new list. And then on the 2nd of October, they announced the winners. All right, so it's an incompetence issue, not a conspiracy issue. Now, having said that, I'm a big supporter of Gamma. I think we need a trade organization that does a good job. That does a good job for the publishers, for the retailers, the distributors, for gamers. It's important to have this. It's sad that they continue to have these issues. You know, in this one was just like why they couldn't have checks and balances on this thing, beyond me. John has told me since then in the email stream that these are the new procedures that they're going to be utilizing, so this can't happen again. That's the long story of this. Not a conspiracy, just another Gamma screw up.
I like how you keep saying not a conspiracy. No one is saying it is.
No, of course not. But
again, I will say, Stephen, you built this story up at the beginning. Like, you really took me there. And then the ending was definitely very season 8 Game of Thrones for me, okay? You dropped the ball, but, you know, I was waiting for this, like, on this day, they published a list. Items were missing from that list. On this following day, the winners were announced. They did not include any of the nominees. We'll be right back.
No,
and then, like, you come back, and it's like, and everything was fine. There was no conspiracy at all. Somebody was inept. Great, come on, man. I'm waiting for like a rousing end here. You let me down.
Rousing. All right. Here's the rousing end. So with all of this going back and forth, John asks me. He goes. We really need people who understand the history of the awards, which, as we all know, have been a little checkered. The checkered past of these awards. They were really bad. Then they got better, and now they're just incompetent in doing it correctly. We really need people who understand all this, who want to make some improvements. Would you like to be on the committee to work through some of the Origins Awards issues? And I said, all right, I'll put my time where my mouth is, and I will do so. So I volunteered to be on the committee to revamp some of the awards. So
this
I'll be doing
story, like many of the stories you bring up, ends up being about you.
No, it does not.
You know what this means, though, Z? Next year when I complain about the Origins Awards, he's going to fight to the death that they're good. He'll be like, no. Because he's involved with them.
Bonacor. Every time you add a new story to this, it's just like 30 seconds in, you can mention Board Games Insider. And now this ends up being about you, too.
Wow.
Dude, I had hope beyond hope that this would be about something else. Maybe a conspiracy. I don't know. I love conspiracies. Let's move on.
All right. No. Come on. Mention your last thing here, because I want to talk about this.
What's the last thing?
Yeah, I wasn't sure I should mention this last thing. I assume you mean the
game of the year. You wrote it there.
Yeah, I know, but I was now with all what he just said, I wasn't sure I should bring this up. So
you're
what I
listening
did.
To me, wait. You're allowing the stupid stuff I say to dictate what you do? Don't ever do that.
Thank you. So the oddest thing maybe about what I found out about the Origins Awards is that the game of the year isn't the one that just got the most votes, by the people on who do the voting. They then take a group of these games, give it to a group of retailers to make the actual selection of game of the year. And I was truly appalled by that. And I got it. That was appalling. That it wasn't the one that was voted by the committee, which is supposed to be industry professionals and reviewers and people who really know the games, but then they're going to take it and give it to retailers who will then pick based on what they can sell the most of or whatever their view is. If I'm going to do one thing on this committee, that's going to change. And if I can't change that, I'm going to drop. Because I love retailers. I'm a big proponent of the friendly local game store, but that can't be, because then a small company, right, probably will never win the award. So some small company has the greatest game of all time. They got to win game of the year, but the retailers are like, well, this company is not going to sell because I can't get enough copies. Can't do this. You think the Spiel des Jahres does this? You think any other major or the Dice Tower Awards do this? Of course not. You have to do it based on some voting mechanism. And yeah, so now you just jazzed me up on this one, because now this really aggravated me. And this was the reason that I said, okay, you're right. I will get on this and I will make this point very clear to them. And if I do one thing on this committee, it's going to change the way that the game of the year is picked.
I would also recommend you change two other things if you can push towards them. One is that a game doesn't have to be submitted to be talked about. So if a company doesn't submit a game, it's like a chicken and egg thing. There's, 100 games that aren't submitted because the companies don't like the awards. So then, therefore, the awards don't pick the good games.
I will look at all the procedures, of course. So, but
this one's a crazy thing. I never heard of that, but that's pretty wild. The fact that the one they vote on is not the winner, possibly, is the strangest thing I've heard in a while. That goes to retailers to pick.
I look forward to discussing how this is possible, that this is it, and how it's going to change. We'll see.
All right.
We're still against GAMA, the Game Manufacturers Association. They just announced that they're not actually making a change. They're looking at making a change. All right, they're putting together a group of people. So the Game Manufacturers Association, which is a weird name because it's actually an association mostly of publishers. There's a retail part of GAMA. It's not kind of the same thing. It's like a separate section, and one retailer is on the board itself. Anybody can be on the board. They have at-large members that have been people in the media, have been on the board in the past, and so on. But now they're talking about, in their October meeting, revising their bylaws to add extra sections to this So instead of it just being publishers, there will be publishers, retailers, distributors. What were the other things they mentioned? Oh, manufacturers, which are like Panda, who actually make the games.
We call them printers in the industry. So yeah, so there's, I think it's basically fait accompli unless if this is voted down, but I'm pretty sure this is going to get voted through, that they'll have all of these different types of members. There'll only be two memberships that you can get into, like a full member and a communicating member. And a communicating member is just sort of like someone who just wants to be on the inside and get all the inside information and stuff like that. Maybe like small podcasts and things like that. But then there'll be the membership level, and then you'll be able to, be like, okay, I'm a distributor member, I'm a publisher member, I'm a retailer member, and then each one of those will have seats on the board that will get voted in. I like because this is going to be reflective.
I'm nominating Z for this for the media category.
I think what's going on here, right, is that this is GAMA used to be the publishers trade organization and would help publishers do various things. But now they want to be reflective. They want to be an industry trade organization, not just a publisher trade organization. I think in general this makes a lot of sense because there ends up becoming an antagonism between the different tiers, because these are all different tiers within the industry. There ends up becoming an antagonism between them when the publishers will say something, but then the retailers are not happy with it. So if you can get people that will communicate more, be together on a board of directors and make decisions together, it certainly should be able to help the organization and therefore the industry. We'll see.
My only concern is in this regard. I mean, sure, I'm all for let's do that. It's that the GAMA committee and the GAMA board has notoriously been slow at doing anything. I'm not sure adding another 10 members will make it faster.
I don't know that they're going to add 10 members to the board. I don't think that's the way it's going to work.
I don't know. Adding any members, adding more things won't make it a streamlined board. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the whole thing will change for the better. We'll see.
Should be interesting.
Alrighty, and then the Toy Fair, the 2021 Toy Fair. This is a closed industry convention. It's actually pretty big. It's mostly toys, as you might gather from the name, but there's a lot of board games there. And this happens every year in the coldest month in New York for whatever reason.
it often snows like 2 feet the week this happens. It has happened on multiple occasions. The New York Toy Fair can't be you can't minimize how big it is. And as you said, it's mostly toys. It takes up the entire Jacob Javits Center, which is by far the largest convention center in Manhattan, in New York City overall. Board games, hobby games are like 2 rows of hundreds, maybe 100 or 200 rows of exhibitors. But it's very important for publishers to get out to certain segments of the retail organization out there. So it's important, and they are moving it, canceling it or just moving it from February to May, at least for 2021. That
seemed fairly optimistic. I'm hoping it will happen in May. We'll see. Each convention keeps like shuffling a little bit,
The one interesting thing about this is one of the last things that happened in 2020 before the world closed down. The GAMA trade show was probably truly the last thing. Like even many publishers pulled out. That's like the first week in March. This is the middle of February normally. So now we're seeing 1 full year later, we're still under the impact. That's sort of why I put this in here.
Sure, we haven't yet seen one convention close twice yet.
That's right. That
has not happened. So
that was sort of the reason I put this in there.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is the news. We're going to chat to some contributors and come back for a game show. Stay tuned.
I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are Our Celebrates Games.
We're back, folks.
Yes.
We are back.
And we are here to show you another one of our favorite family two-player games.
Two-player games when we don't have nobody to play with us, but me and my lovely wife, we gonna throw out a game.
That's right.
And it's gonna be a two-player game.
Yes. So Lost Cities by Cosmos, and it was designed by
that evil Dr. Raina Knizia. Don't let that bow tie fool y'all.
Well, Lost Cities is a lot of fun. It can be treacherous.
Oh, it's all treacherous.
Yes. So
it's
we
all
are doing
treacherous.
expeditions.
All
You've
right.
got 5 different expeditions and they're different colors.
Yep.
The objective of this game is to make as many points as you can with your expedition. So you're going to be getting cards from 2 all the way to 10.
Yeah.
And you want to get as many of those cards in numerical order as you can. Now your opponent is going to be holding some of those
holding
cards.
them.
So you're not always going to get the cards you need. And you have to make a decision. Do I put that card down or do I wait to see if I can get it later?
And then also, how many expeditions are you going to try to
How
go
many
with?
can you do?
Because you lose points
That's
if
right.
you don't get enough, get enough cards down.
Exactly. So the game is really simple.
Yeah.
Play a card, draw a card.
And
that's it.
and get mad at somebody.
And get mad at somebody. Now, normally we would be sitting across from each other to play this game, but in order to talk to you, we had to sit next to each other.
All right, guys. Hey, have a great breakfast. We're glad we're back. Now, you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Hey, and we're so glad we're back, and we love you guys, and we'll see you again. All right, bye-bye.
Welcome to Survey Says, where we survey you listeners and we discuss the results. We are the Board Game Weekenders. I'm Colby.
And I'm Steven. In this week's episode, we asked, what is your preferred way to play board games online?
I've played on Board Game Arena. I've done the apps and I've done the video chat. And what surprised me was with the current state of affairs of the world we're living in right now, that video chat and play hasn't been a bigger number. But I guess if it's your preferred way, my preferred way is to not play games online.
Yeah, I think, it's surprising that a lot of people haven't played board games online. And I still think there's that pushback. It's hard to get these good adaptations. I mean, it's hard to substitute people all sitting around together and playing. But like you said, I actually think I've done video chat and play the most, on which is the lowest result. But I just think that's been the easiest for me to set up games that just work over Google Meet or Zoom or whatever.
For me personally, it's what is the point of me playing a board game? And for me, it's something to do when I hang out with my friends. It's not, something that I want to do on my own. So for me, I need the people with me in the room for me to really get that experience that I want when I play board games.
Yeah, I think if we kind of change that question to like just play virtual adaptations of board games, I think like board game apps would shoot way up, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people might play those solo, but not online with people. So
thanks for checking out this week's episode. Let us know your thoughts on the results in the comments below.
Look out for next week's survey on Twitter at BG Weekenders, and make sure to tune in to the next episode of Survey Says.
All righty, here we go. Z versus Mr. Bonacore. Today we're going to play a very simple game that we've played before. I'm going to be asking some questions that have a numerical answer.
Let's go.
You will both answer, and we're going to try to see who's closer to the answer. But I'm also going to pull 4 random answers from people in the chat. So I'll pick 4 of those answers.
This is the one where Bonacore destroyed me that one time, right?
Possibly.
Probably. I've only lost once.
If you get the closest to the answer, if you get closer than anybody else, then you will get 5 points. If you're the second closest to the answer, 3 points. Third closest, you get 1 point. And then if the people beat you all, if neither one of you is closer than all 4 people, I'm giving the people 6 points. So
wait. If neither one of us is closer than the people?
Then all 4 people, yes. If you're that far off.
Okay, got it.
All right, so
okay, I'll let you deal with the scoring.
I'll deal with the scoring. Yeah. 2 points for Z for being good. For being a good sport.
I was about to say some garbage, so I'm glad you cut me off.
I'm glad you shut up there so you get your 2 points for free.
I know.
There's no points being given yet. All right. So this is
then this scoring is stupid, and I hate you.
Most ridiculous scoring I've ever heard.
Fine, then.
Minus
All right.
3.
So this is the week of Spiel Digital, and Spiel takes place in the city of Essen, to the point where we've all called it Essen in the past, the actual fair. Essen is the 9th largest city in Germany. I want to know what the population, as of around now, the population of Essen is. I went and looked this up. The 9th largest city. I think you were there.
Essen is the 9th largest. What's the population of Essen? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. What is the population of Essen?
Right. So I'm gonna have Steven guess first. People in the chat can throw them in here. Of course, no one needs to look this stuff up on the internet because that would be cheating. All right. So let's you get some answers in here.
I have no idea. What kind of What
do you mean you have no idea? Obviously, I'm not trying to give you ones that you. All right. I got 4 answers from the audience. All right, Mr. Bonagor, what do you think?
The obvious answer to this question is that the population of Essen is 1.3 million people.
1.3 million. All right.
Obviously.
What do you say, Z?
I said 1,600,000, so 1.6.
It's funny.
1.6.
I was gonna say that, then I brought it down. Ooh, it's good. That's a good pick. I think.
All right.
I think we're
Here's
both
what the people
over.
said. The people said 750,000. One of them said 1.3 million.
Whoa, that person's very
That is
smart.
weird. And then 200,000 and 400,000. The actual answer is 583,109, which makes all 4 people closer than you. So the people start off with 6 points.
You gotta be kidding me. Wait a minute. They can't be closer to me because one guy tied me.
Yeah, ties go to the people.
I can't believe the rules change
How
on every
Roman
question.
of you.
All right. If you've been in Essen, and we stay at the Atlantic Hotel, and I always said, why couldn't we stay at that other cool-looking hotel, that Eon building? But that's actually not a hotel. Looks like one, but it's E-ON. It's this huge building you can see right from the Messe there, and that's the electric utility company. It is one of the largest industries in Europe, actually. They made a big push for renewable electricity, and I want to know what their revenue was in 2019.
You gotta be kidding me.
Come on. I hate
The
you.
revenue of EON?
Yes, the revenue of this gigantic electric utility company in Germany. Although it's in more in Germany, it's in Finland, it's in all over the place.
You want it in euros or in dollars?
I want it in euro. Here, I'll give you a clue. It's in billions.
Thank you.
Give it to me in billions.
0.2 billions.
Let me get the people's choices here first. And I'm going to grab 4 of them.
Geez.
And then, Z, you're going to go first on this one.
All right.
Hey, man.
Insane. Pick small numbers, animal. Billions. Like, ask us, like, oh, this EON company, how much is a nightly room in their hotel? That I can answer.
I'm ready.
All right, Z, go ahead.
I said 63.2 billion euros.
All right, what about you, Mr. Bonagor?
I have only 18.1 billion euros.
All right. The people said 2.1 billion, 5 billion, 2 billion, and 150 billion.
All right.
All right. The answer is 41.484 billion, which actually makes Mr. Bonagor actually, wow, I need to subtract here. 41 minus 18.
And what did he pick?
63 minus that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I win by a little.
No, Z was 1 billion closer than you were. So that is 5 points for Z and 3 points for Mr. Bonagor. So our current score is 6 points for the people, 5 points for Z, and 3 points for Mr. Bonagor. It's a close game.
I love it. I'm coming for the people next.
All right. So Eon, one of the things they sponsor is the FA Cup. Do you know what that is?
That's football. That's soccer, right?
It is football, yes, soccer, as you say. This is the oldest competition in the world for football. It's been around for many years. I want to know what's the first year this competition started. The FA Cup in England, the soccer competition. What was the first year of this one?
They used to play with a stone soccer ball. I remember way back in the day.
And no
It's been around for a long time.
What's the first year?
You want it in centuries?
To the nearest century.
Yeah.
It's the FA Cup.
Started in UK, right? Is that what you said?
Yes.
All right, that's...
All right, I'm getting people's choices here. Let me write them down. Remember, I just write down random ones that come across. I got them. I got Z. No, it's Mr. Bonico first. Sorry.
Okay, we'll see.
It obviously started in the late 1800s, in 1884.
1884. Z?
I said 1962.
Come on. Soccer, man. Football over there is insane. Old thing.
All right, the people said 1899, 1910, 1900, and 1887.
Wow, I'm like way later than everybody else. Jeez.
Yeah, I could just tell you now you didn't get any points in this one. See? All right, the actual answer is 1871, which makes Mr. Bonacor the closest, giving him 5 points.
What do you mean? You said 71? I said 62.
Yes. You were off by only 100 years. Not bad.
No, I said 1862. Look, I'll show you on my paper. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah, 18. Forget it.
Alrighty, so that actually, and we'll give 1 point to the people. So the people have 7.
How much did Steven just make?
He made 5, so he has 8, and you have 5.
So we're tied.
1871 was the year. In 1871, Orville Wright was born, known for his popcorn. No, wait, that's a different Orville. Known for flying the airplane. So Orville Wright, I read a history on him. It's actually pretty interesting. I spent too much time on this, reading about the different things he did. He took a passenger at one point, and Thomas Selfridge, and they crashed, and Thomas Selfridge died. He was the first casualty of an airplane crash. What year did that happen in?
Oh, jeez.
So Orville Wright was born in 1871.
He was. So it's past 1870.
He obviously invented.
You can figure maybe it's at least 5 years past that, since he was probably at least 5 when he flew the airplane.
Probably at least 5 years old.
I'm giving you clues here.
I like this. I'm gonna go with 1962 again.
Hang on a second. I haven't even got the people's choice yet.
He's not going with 1962. I'm driving down there and smacking him if he tries
airplane crash. Or a first airplane crash fatality. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the first one. Alrighty, I'm writing down the people's choices.
Gosh, I wish I knew this stuff off the top of my head, but I could not.
All right, Z, you're first.
I'm gonna go 1894. I'm not sure.
Wow. This is going to be interesting. I got 1896.
1896. The people said 1901, 1903, 1918, and 1890. Answer is, considering the first flight was in the 1900s.
I forgot.
1908,
That's what I didn't know. I couldn't remember.
1908, which makes 3 of the people closer than you guys, which gives them 3 points.
And I got?
Oh, nothing, because you guys were second last and last. Second and third last. No, last was one of the people said 1890. You're lucky for that person.
So it's...
Thank you.
People are winning by 2 points.
Thomas Selfridge was that first person to die. He was just a passenger, collapsed ribs and things. They named an air base after him, Selfridge Air Base. It's in Harrison Township, Michigan, which is based in the city of Mount Clemens, or near the city of Mount Clemens. You know who was born in Mount Clemens? Dean Cain. All right, Dean Cain is known for what TV show?
Oh, okay.
Fear Factor.
No, just say it out loud.
Oh, Superman.
Yeah, Lois and Clark, Adventures of Superman.
Gotham.
How many episodes were in Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman?
Several.
Yes. I
How
got
many
that.
episodes of Lois and Clark were made?
Got it. Got it.
Is he like talking out loud?
I will say.
Is it me first?
Who goes first?
Well, I'm waiting for the people. They're still saying
okay.
Superman because I asked that question. And all right, I'm starting to get some answers from the people now. Let me write these down. Alrighty.
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, I got him. All right, who's first here? I think it's Bonacor.
Go.
I'm gonna go with. There was maybe 3 seasons. 66.
All right, 66. Z.
I said 39.
Ooh, that's a season and a half ish.
All right, the people said 47, 80, 45, and 62. There was actually more than 3 seasons. There is 88 episodes.
Oh my God! I actually wrote down 88 first at 4 seasons, and I went with 66 instead. Isn't that funny? Seriously.
Well, it's funny that you lost, but actually you were the third closest, which is worth 1 point. So you get 1 point, and the people get another 3 for being the closest.
What did I get?
0.
So Z, you still have 5. The people currently have 13, and Mr. Bonacor has 9.
I hope I still have 5. That'd be great if you now start taking my few scant points away also.
You know what? You keep talking like that. That could happen. Double points.
If the next time you announce them, you're like, Z now has 4. That would be pretty funny, actually.
Double points for the final round. Here we go.
Points are all double.
Who was Dean Cain's co-star in The Adventures of Superman?
Lois Lane. You just said that.
Yeah. Who played Lois Lane?
Oh.
I don't know. I've never seen that show.
All right.
But this is not actually something we're not actually doing.
Do you know?
No, Margot Kidder, but no, it's not.
No, Terry Hatcher.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Terry Hatcher also starred in a James Bond movie, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how much money did Tomorrow Never Dies make?
Dun, dun, dun,
You want it in euros or in dollars?
Actually, I'm looking it up now to make sure that I'm giving you I want the box office.
U.S. box office. I usually get it on Box Office Mojo. It's U.S. box office. That's usually the best way of doing it. Unless you want to do global, just say
Well, I don't know. It
Box
just says
Office
box
Mojo.
office here. I don't know.
You want the box office
No,
mojo
worldwide,
or the variety
worldwide.
number?
Worldwide box office.
Worldwide
Tomorrow
box
Never
office for
Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
What year
Do
was
you want me
that
to give you a
made?
clue and tell you what the budget was?
Sure. No,
The budget was 125 million.
doesn't mean anything. They lose money.
You're right. It doesn't mean
They
anything.
lose money, Z.
This was one of the. I found this to be one of the more boring.
What year did
James
this
Bond
come
movies.
out?
Yeah, what year
This
was it?
came out in 97, 23 years ago.
This is one of the Pierce Brosnan ones.
It was. This is the one where he was stopping the media mogul from inducing war between China and the UK.
Got it. How much money did it make?
Nice.
Dang it, almost. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da.
All right. I guess Z's first here.
I'm ready.
You did say global, right?
Global.
It's a global, yes.
Okay. I'm first. I'm going to say $185 million globally.
All right, Mr. Monaco.
Mr. Bonacor will say $245 million globally.
245. The people said 230, 575. This person put 1.6 million. So,
They
okay.
meant billion?
Billion? Maybe give him
Either
billion.
way, it's going to be wrong. And 321. Actual answer, 333.
Making me in the money, I think. Yeah.
Oh, no, one of them said 321. So you are the second closest, so you
Thank
get
you.
3 points.
I'll take 3.
What do I get?
You got 0. Yep. You're not good at this.
Words hurt, Bonacor.
How many points did they get?
C gets 5 points total. Mr. Bonacor has 9. No, wait, not 9.
12.
8,
12.
12 points. And the people had 7, 10, 13, 16 points.
Hmm.
16 to 12 to 5. The people win.
Oh, but I beat Z, which is always the most important part.
But I get bronze. I settle for bronze, baby. It got its own age named after it.
Let's go to some more contributors, and we'll be back.
This should offer us a bit of shelter for now while we figure out what to do about those Dice Tower werewolves.
You hear that? You know, that could very well be Tom Vassell himself.
You know what? That one could have been Z Garcia.
Jason Levine. I've got a plan.
Great. Let's hear it.
All right. We need to use our actions wisely and gather as many of these blue items as possible. Then we can take them to the laboratory and use advance actions to fill these 6 spots. Once that's done, we'll have the cure. Meet the werewolf, use a defeat action to deliver red items totaling 6 or more, and that werewolf is history. Just be careful. If the werewolf attacks you, you could get hit, or he could even bite everyone in your space.
Well, great. You just described how to defeat the werewolf in the game Horrified, designed by Prospero Hall and published by Ravensburger.
Well, yeah, it's a great game night game. And it also has other Universal Studios monsters that all have their own attacks and methods of defeat. It's an awesome game.
That's the point. It's a game. It's not going to help us.
Oh. I'll be right back.
Wait, what are you doing? You know there's werewolves out there. You're going to let one in.
Yeah. It was just my DoorDash. Meatball sub?
All right, folks, we're almost to the end here of Board Game Breakfast. A couple things. When we sign off here, instead of going right to the outro, we have a video from the folks at Spiel Digital. They're going to tell you a little bit about how they're putting all this together and things like that. So stay tuned for that. Also, go back to the beginning of our episode and enter our contest to win Nova Aetus Renaissance, 3 copies of that. And then once breakfast is over, come back here on the channel at 10:30. We're going to be playing through the newest expansion for Harry Potter, the deck building game. And then later on, Z is going to be playing
Under Falling Skies, coming soon from CGE.
And then we got Ella's going to be playing Strike, and then we'll be back later on today playing more games. So we got a full slate of games for you coming up, and I got to go prepare for that. So until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thank you.
And I'm Stephen Bonagor. Take care.
Have fun watching.
Ja, ihr Lieben, ich möchte euch ganz herzlich zu dieser Eröffnungsshow der diesjährigen Spiel Digital begrüßen und freue mich, dass ihr alle so zahlreich zugeschaltet habt. Normalerweise würden wir uns jetzt in der Messe Essen befinden. Die Hallentore wären gerade aufgegangen und es wäre schon ein tierisches Gewusel in den Hallen. Doch dieses Jahr ist alles anders. Corona hat uns einen Strich durch die Rechnung gemacht. Als wir die Spiel dieses Jahr am 18. Mai absagen haben müssen, haben wir 24 Stunden später die Spiel digital angekündigt. Und das war für uns ein riesiges Abenteuer. Viele Wochen und Monate liegen uns jetzt hinter uns. Es war eine reine Achterbahn. An dieser Entwicklung waren nur viele, viele Menschen beteiligt, bei denen ich mich auch bedanken möchte. Aber hört doch einfach mal selbst.
www.spiel.digital. Die Domain habe ich tatsächlich letztes Jahr im Juli 2019 registriert, ohne zu wissen, was eigentlich im Jahre 2020 auf uns alle zukommen soll. Und deswegen hatten wir auch so ein bisschen Glück im Unglück, weil wir uns natürlich schon überlegt haben, wie kann man die Messe noch digital unterstützen, und haben uns da schon sehr, sehr viele Gedanken darüber gemacht und auch eine App in Auftrag gegeben, die nie zum Einsatz kam. Als wir uns dann im Oktober letzten Jahres während dem Deutschen Spielepreisabend in Essen aufgehalten haben, habe ich den Christoph von Better Board Games kennengelernt und den Thomas Brendel von Play That Funky Board Game. Und eigentlich haben wir uns 2 Stunden draußen in der Kälte beim Rauchen verquatscht, um einfach super viele Ideen auszutauschen. Wie könnte so eine App aussehen? Was müsste die alles haben, um auch wirklich sinnvoll zu sein und den Spielern vieles abzunehmen, wie zum Beispiel Vorbestellungen, aber auch noch ganz, ganz viele andere Dinge. Und das Gespräch ist mir bis heute in Erinnerung geblieben, und dann habe ich tatsächlich im April diesen Jahres eine WhatsApp-Nachricht von Christoph gekriegt: ey, denkt ihr eigentlich schon digital?
Und kam direkt die Antwort: ja, hast du Lust mitzugestalten? Meine ich so, klar, lass uns zusammensetzen. Dann kam erstmal eine Woche nichts, und dann haben wir uns zusammengesetzt, wirklich mehrere Wochenenden haben wir durchkonzipiert und uns überlegt, was sind eigentlich die Motive von Leuten, die auf die Spiel gehen, was erwarten die davon, welche Akteure haben wir da, was macht ein Spiel eigentlich aus und was müssen wir da versuchen, dass es auch digital in irgendeiner Form abgebildet, umgesetzt wird, dass das da noch gelebt werden kann. Und deswegen gab es irgendwo den Punkt, dass klar war, okay, wir brauchen ein großes Team. Da mit meinem Background zum Glück habe ich mich dann hinsetzen können und habe halt Ausschreibungsunterlagen gemacht, um da halt irgendwie einen guten Partner zu finden. Muss man ja auch irgendwie vermitteln, was so die Motivation ist, was man machen möchte, wie so die Vision aussieht, was so die Rahmenbedingungen sind. Und wer das vielleicht kennt, das dauert eigentlich so ein Ding mehrere Wochen, das zu schreiben, und der Ausschreibungsprozess eigentlich auch so über ein paar Monate. Wir mussten das alles in kürzester Zeit machen. Also Wochenende um die Ohren geschlagen, Ausschreibungsdokumente geschrieben, das sind mehrere Seiten. Und dann an mehrere Dienstleister geschickt. Dann war erstmal so ein bisschen durchatmen und direkt die Nervosität, finden wir denn da einen guten Partner? Und dann muss man sich vorstellen, wenn dann halt so 15 Angebote kommen, sind die halt alle mindestens 20, 30 Seiten lang. Also die nächsten Wochenende um die Ohren geschlagen und diese ganzen Angebote studiert, durchgegangen, verglichen und einfach geschaut, wer ist denn da vielleicht der beste Partner für uns.
Ja, und das hat natürlich dann alles auch sehr geholfen, dass wir quasi schon ein Konzept in der Schublade hatten, als wir die Spiel digital angekündigt haben. Und ich hatte kurz nach der Absage einem Podcast ein Interview gegeben, in dem ich auch ein bisschen erzählt habe, was wir uns digital vorstellen. Und da hat Patrick zugehört. Patrick hat eine Softwareentwicklungsfirma, die in Darmstadt sitzt, und er hat dann bei uns angefragt, ob er auch ein Angebot abgeben könnte, und da wir noch mitten in dieser Angebotsphase waren, haben wir natürlich ja gesagt und sind heute sehr, sehr froh, mit Krusi zusammenzuarbeiten.
Alles fing an in der Woche von Christi Himmelfahrt. Da gab es 2 besondere Dinge, für die Brettspielwelt. Montags wurden die Nominierungen zum Spiel des Jahres verkündet und gleichzeitig wurde bekannt gegeben, dass die Spiel dieses Jahr nicht in physischer Form stattfindet. Boom. Also. Und direkt im Anschluss, einen Tag später, glaube ich, war es, hat Dominik verkündet, dass es eine digitale Variante geben wird.
Wir haben hier die coole Gelegenheit, gemeinsam mit den Metzlers die Spiel, also eine super analoge Erfahrung, die von Brettspielen und gemeinsam am Tisch sitzen und einem Austausch zwischen Menschen lebt, in dieses Internet zu hieven. In einem anderen Jahr außer 2020 wäre das wahrscheinlich nicht passiert. Aber da dieses Jahr die Spiel vor Ort ja nicht stattfinden kann, weil Corona das uns unmöglich macht, haben wir die Riesenchance zu sagen, hey, wir machen das Beste draus und transportieren so viel, wie wir können in das Internet.
Warum soll nicht eine Brettspielmesse aussehen wie ein Brettspiel? Und nicht einfach Messehallen zu bauen und sowas. Und dieser Spirit, hey, lass uns zusammen eine richtig geile digitale Messe bauen, der ist jetzt jeden Tag spürbar in diesem Projekt und hat auch in der Interaktion mit der Community zu etlichen Gänsehautmomenten, auch bei mir persönlich, geführt.
Das ganz zu Anfang, als der März Verlag auf uns zukam, haben wir ihm schon so ein paar Mock-ups gezeigt, die ich gestaltet habe, wie dann am Ende diese Messe dann aussehen könnte. Das war natürlich noch weit in der Zukunft und so weiter, aber sie konnten sich dadurch schon so ein bisschen vorstellen, wie das aussieht. Und sobald sie das eben auf Twitter dann irgendwie mal an die ganze Welt gereicht haben, hat auf einmal die ganze Welt über meine Designs gesprochen und ich bin am nächsten Tag aufgewacht und habe dann die ganzen Komplimente und Kommentare gesehen und war total überwältigt davon und bin das nach wie vor noch und das ist irgendwie der Wahnsinn, dass die ganze Welt über meine Designs spricht. Also ja, das ist wirklich sehr, sehr cool.
Auf der Spiel Digital erwartet euch ganz viel. Ich gehe jetzt nicht überall ins Detail, aber ich gebe euch mal so einen groben Rahmen. Ihr könnt euch grundsätzlich über das ganze Programm auf der Spiel Digital informieren, über die ganzen neuen Produkte. Es wird super viele vorproduzierte Inhalte geben, aber auch ganz, ganz viel Live-Content, wie zum Beispiel Spiele mit dem Autor oder Behind-the-Scenes-Dinge, wie zum Beispiel euer Lieblingsverlag zeigt euch mal ein bisschen, wie das bei denen in ihren Headquarters eigentlich aussieht. Auch mega spannend. Ihr könnt die sofort kontaktieren. Ihr könnt die Spiele auch ausprobieren. Das wird über Brettspielsimulatoren möglich sein, aber auch über Kommunikationsplattformen wie zum Beispiel Zoom. Das müsst ihr natürlich auch nicht alleine machen. Das heißt, dass Spieleerklärer dann auch vor Ort sind und euch da durchleiten. Es wird selbstverständlich auch die Möglichkeit geben, dass ihr dann eure Lieblingsspiele alle kaufen könnt. Und ich weiß schon von ganz, ganz vielen Ausstellern, dass es zur Spiel Digital auch sehr, sehr coole Rabattaktionen geben wird. Darunter fallen dann auch Promo-Aktionen wie zum Beispiel Promokarten für Spiel XY. Das könnt ihr auf jeden Fall alles machen. Wenn ihr euch einfach nur berieseln lassen wollt, dann könnt ihr euch zurücklehnen und es wird nämlich sehr, sehr viele Livestreams in ganz, ganz vielen Weltsprachen geben. Es wird 2 deutsche Livestreams geben, 2 nordamerikanische Livestreams, 2 spanische Livestreams, einen italienischen Livestream, einen brasilianischen und einen russischen. Also für jeden wirklich was dabei. Da wird es Interviews geben, es wird Neuheitenschauen geben, wo die Spiele kurz gezeigt werden. Es wird Playthroughs geben, es wird natürlich auch Interviews mit den Autoren und den Verlagen direkt geben. Also es ist wirklich für jeden was dabei und wir freuen uns, dass ihr auch mit dabei seid, dass euch das Ganze anschaut, denn die Spiel ist was ganz Besonderes und Brettspiele auch und wir freuen uns, dass wir die jetzt mit euch gemeinsam trotz Corona feiern können und wünschen euch ganz viel Spaß.